Good morning, dear students. This is Amrita BL from ASC Independent PU College, Department of Biology. In my last video session, you have learnt about patterns of biodiversity. Among 5 different patterns of biodiversity, the most well defined pattern was latitudinal gradient. So, this latitudinal gradient told us about the species diversity will decrease as we move away from the equator region. Then we have also discussed about species area relationship. So this relationship was given by Alexander von Humboldt. So he observed that within a region the species diversity increases with increase in explored area or area of research up to a certain limit only. Okay, then we have also studied by taking an example of it and plotted the graph and deduced the equation. So the equation was log s is equal to log c plus z log a. So then we spoke about Rivet-Popper hypothesis. So this hypothesis was given by Paul Ehrlich in order to understand the importances of biodiversity in a better way. Okay, so he related airplane as ecosystem and rivet as species, and the consequences of this hypothesis you know better. So today let me talk about the losses of biodiversity and causes of biodiversity. Okay, so we know that the biological wealth of our planet Earth has been declining rapidly. And who do you think the accused is? For sure it is human and human activities. So most of the biodiversity loss has happened after the industrial revolution only. So all these happens because of the human activities. Okay, there are some consequences for loss of biodiversity. They are: it may lead to decline in plant production. That means the plants, animals or microorganisms are known as the bedrock of food production. If these critical species are lost, it places a future under a severe threat, or it places our future under danger. If any one of these species is disturbed, it may lead to the decline in productivity. The second one is it lowers the resistance to environmental disturbances. Here, the environmental disturbances like drought, flood, fires, storms or earthquake. Okay, so this environmental disturbances will cause a remarkable change in an environment. The third one is increased variability in certain ecosystem processes such as plant productivity, water use and pest and disease cycles. It means that if we disturb or destroy any one particular part of the ecosystem or any one particular part of the biodiversity, it may cause harm to the living organisms that are present in that particular ecosystem. So how does it cause any harm? So the living organisms which are present in ecosystem has to face many problems. Some of the problems like habitat reduction or destroying the native species, or it might leads to some of the disease cycles and things like that. Okay, so these are the major consequences that makes the loss of biodiversity. Then there is something called as red data book or red data list. So according to IUCN, so the red data book documents the rare and endangered species of plants, animals and fungi as well. So it is nothing but it is like a manual or a key book in order to know the threatened species that are facing the risk of extinction. So that is about the red data book, wherein it enlists the threatened species of plants, animals, fungi, etc. Okay, there are many important categories, out of which the 8 important categories of species, they are extinct. So first and foremost, it is extinct. So what do you mean by extinct? So extinct is nothing but it is the sudden reduction of species, or it no longer interacts with the other species in an ecosystem. So that is known as extinct. And there is one more thing called as extinct in the world. Okay, so particular animal or particular plant species are no more alive anywhere in the world, or simply you can call it as species that has died out is known as extinct in the world. The third category is critically endangered. So it is categorized as an organism or any species that faces an extremely high risk of extinction. So those species which are facing highly risk of extinction is known as a critically endangered category. The fourth is endangered. Okay, the endangered species are very likely to become extinct in a near future. So those species which are at a verge of extinction in our near future will tell us about the endangered species. The fifth is vulnerable. So vulnerable are nothing but species which are likely to become endangered. You have known the definition of endangered right now. So endangered is nothing but species which are likely to become extinct. Okay, whereas vulnerable is nothing but which are likely to become endangered. So such species are called as vulnerable species. Then the sixth is lower risk or lower verge of risk. It means that those species which are not qualified or which are not considered as threatened, endangered or vulnerable species, such category is known as lower risk. Then the seventh is data deficient. So data deficient tells us about the species which has not got, or the species which offers insufficient information regarding the conservation status. That means the organism hasn't provided the minimum required categories in order to regard them as the conservation status. I repeat, so it tells us about the species which offers or which possess the insufficient information regarding the conservation status. Then the last is not evaluated. So species which are not yet having any assessed by IUCN. I repeat, so the not evaluated categories will tell us about the species which are not yet been assessed by IUCN. The organisms or any species are not yet evaluated by the IUCN board. Okay. So the IUCN Red List documents the extinction of about 784 species in last 500 years. So on a total count, 784 species has shown the extinction. So among the 784, 338 species are vertebrates and 354 species are invertebrates and 87 species are plants. So now let us study about some recent extinction organisms. So this recent extinctions or this concept is important for your examination point of view. So you may get a question that list out some of the recent extinction organisms. So here are some of the examples. The first image that you are seeing is a dodo. Okay, so dodo is a flightless bird. Particularly it was found in islands of Mauritius. The second image is quagga. So quagga is considered as a subspecies of zebra which lived in Africa. Then thirdly it is thylacine. So thylacine is a carnivorous marsupial. So marsupial is nothing but a mammal which has a pouch on its mother's belly. Okay, so these are the mammals which predominantly have pouch on a mother's belly. So you can give an example of kangaroo for this marsupial. Okay, so again, this thylacine lived in Australia. Then the fourth is Steller's sea cow. So it was a long-lived megafauna and very large aquatic mammal which lived in Russia. Then the last one is the three subspecies of tiger named Bali, Javan and Caspian. So now let us know the causes of biodiversity losses. So again, this is one of the major important question for your examination point of view. Please mark it, please make a note of it. So it is said that the increased rate of species extinction of the world are due to human activities. So majority of this, there are four major causes or four crucial causes to describe them. So the four major causes by name, they are also known as the evil quartet. The four major causes by name, they are also known as evil quartet. So one by one, let us study what are the major causes for the biodiversity loss. The first and foremost is loss of habitat and habitat fragmentation. So before going to this concept, let us know what is habitat and what is fragmentation. We all know that habitat is nothing but it is a place where an organism resides, or it is a type of environment in which an organism lives. Right. So habitat destruction is said to be the first primary, or it is the first cause for the loss of biodiversity. Secondly, it is about the fragmentation. So fragmentation simply means it is dividing up of a region into smaller fragments, or dividing up of a region into smaller pieces. Right. When a large ecosystem becomes fragmented, species with large range, here the species with large range means they are huge in size. Okay, species with large range or large size may not have enough area to survive. Okay, so by this, if you see the image here, there is an omission of some of the large sized species due to fragmentation. Omission is nothing but to skip, or it is not being considered in the fragmented pieces. Okay, so that is about the fragmentation or habitat fragmentation. So let us study about the examples. The first example that we are talking about is tropical rainforest. So this tropical rainforest is, once it covered more than 14% of Earth's land area or Earth's land surface, while now they are not able to cover more than 6%. So long ago, it could have covered around 14% of our Earth's land surface, but now they are not able to cover, or they cover not more than 6%. What would be the reason for this habitat loss? Again, the culprit is a human. So why does he do all such things? To make more land available for housing, for urbanization, in order to harvest the timber, and in order to extract some of the highly prized items or some of the valuable items such as essential oils or rubbers or leathers and things like that. The second example is about Amazon rainforest. You know much well about the Amazon rainforest. It is known as the lungs of the earth. Okay, so millions of species is being cut and cleared for the cultivation of soya beans, or more or less the land or the forest land is being converted to the grassland for the purpose of grazing of cattle. Right. Then the second cause is over exploitation. So in simple words, over exploitation is nothing but excessive use, right? Here the excessive use of species will be considered. So we humans are directly or indirectly dependent on nature for some of the basic commodities. Here the commodities will be just food and shelter. Okay, but when this need turns into the greed, it leads to the over exploitation of our natural resources. So over exploitation is one of the important factor for the overpopulation. So this overpopulation also causes the increased need of the basic needs. The basic needs are like food and shelter. So here is an example to show some of the species that became extinct due to the human exploitation. The first image is Steller's sea cow. The second is passenger's pigeon. So passenger's pigeon is a North American bird that became extinct due to the hunting for meat. So these are the two animals, majority of the animals that has been exploited by the human for the meat purpose. The third cause is alien species invasion. So alien species invasion, here aliens are referred as exotic species, or what you call it as foreign species. Okay, so foreign species that are living outside their native range, okay, are considered as aliens, or due to the human activities. So these species have been introduced accidentally or deliberately. So intentionally or unintentionally, such exotic species have been introduced to the indigenous or to the native range. So here are some of the examples. Firstly, it is the Nile perch. The Nile perch was introduced into Lake Victoria in East Africa. So this eventually started to invade the indigenous species, or it started to invade the native species called as cichlids. So there was a destruction, or there was an invasion of more than 200 species of cichlids by the introduction of Nile perch in a Victoria lake. So what happens here? The Nile perch, being upper hand or dominant species, it starts to suppress the recessive species, that was the cichlids. The second example, the most common used, is Parthenium. I hope you all have known about this Parthenium weed, right? So this Parthenium weed is a highly invasive plant species which has caused a severe damage or severe threat to the native plants. The third example is water hyacinth, or it is also known as Eichhornia terror of Bengal, right? So it is a popular free floating plant in the water ponds. So because of their wonderful color, lavender blue flowers and fast growth, so this forms a thick layer, or it forms a shield like of thing over the water. So due to this spreading, or due to this fast growth, what happens? There is an suppression of native species of plants. So due to their expansion, they expand very rapidly. Due to this, what happens? The water bodies or the aquatic bodies that are present inside the water will not get enough amount of oxygen. There is no trapment of sunlight, thereby it leads to the death of aquatic plants and aquatic bodies. The next example is the introduction of African catfish named as Clarias for the purpose of aquaculture is creating a severe damage to the native catfishes in our rivers. So these are the examples for alien species invasion. The last cause is co-extinction. So co-extinction is nothing but when a species become extinct, the plants and the animal species which are associated or which are dependent on that organisms also becomes extinct. So let me make it this definition very simpler. So the loss of one species leads to the loss of another species. Okay, that is known as co-extinction. So for example, when a host species of fishes, or when a host fish species become extinct, the parasites which are associated with this fish also gets extinct. Why does it get extinct? Because the predator loses its main food source, thereby that leads to the death of the parasite also. Okay, similarly there is one more example called as plant pollinator mutualism. By now you might have known what is mutualism, what kind of interaction does it provide, right? So leaving that, it is an association between plant and a pollinating agent. So here the flowers are benefited by having their pollens that have been distributed to other flowers that allows them to reproduce, wherein at the same time the pollinating agents, or what you call it as pollinators, okay, these pollinators are also benefited by feeding on the nectar that flowers provide. Okay, mutually the plant as well as the pollinating agent shows a positive interaction, that is known as symbiosis, or what you call it as mutualism. What happens if any one of these species get extinct? It leads to the extinction of another species also. Okay, then so these are the major four causes. Firstly, it was habitat loss and habitat fragmentation. Secondly, it was alien species invasion. Thirdly, it was over exploitation, and lastly it was co-extinction. So now let us know what are the causes of extinction. So there are many such causes for the extinction. Some of them are mentioned here. It might be due to the asteroid strikes, or it might be due to the loss of habitat, invasive species, or lack of food, or there might be many competition, or there might be competition regarding the same resource, that would be for food, or it could be for the shelter, or there might be lack of genetic diversity, or it might be because of human activities or human predation, like pollution, or it might cause some of the disease and pest cycles, or the plant or the organism might have adapted for better competition. So or it might be like the climatic changes also, right? All these are the causes for the extinction. So that was about the loss of biodiversity and causes of biodiversity. So with this I complete today's session, my dear students. Thank you one and all.